Freight's loaded. Here's the manifest. Oh, there's a change of flight plan. Weather control rerouted us 200 miles south. Hurricane warning. We better give Cairo a miss.
Well, refund 3 passengers. I can't.
But they gave me a new course, I tell you.
Yeah, you're always telling me. Look, I run my airline. I'm sick to death of you. You skimp half your jobs and try to tell me how to do mine. We go to Carahoo.
You say so, but we don't have too much gas.
You just refueled, haven't you?
Yeah, but they only brought out 800 gallons in the float.
Why didn't you send them back for more? I told you to load 12.
You know this dump would have been there all day.
So we run this airline to suit your convenience. All right. You can refuel again at Carahoo. And when we get to Darwin, you're through.
Suits me. I'm not too keen on flying with drunks anyway. Nobody can work for you. Everybody knows it. I don't see how Teresa sticks you.
You're working for me till the end of the trip. Now get back aboard and stay there.
I've got quite early memories of Dad when I was about 5 and getting a teddy bear out of the car for my 5th birthday. And that's how I know I was 5. So I may have earlier ones than that, but there's that one. And being in the garden on my own, because I'm the youngest of 6. So I feel that we were quite competitive over Dad's time.
Yeah, but you and me are quite close in age.
Yeah,
aren't
we're really close in age.
And Dad was obviously away filming a lot, but when he
Yes.
did come back, especially if he was filming abroad, he'd always bring back presents.
He'd have a
and-
suitcase, didn't he, in
Yeah.
his bedroom, and then we'd run upstairs and...
That's right, well, there were the monkeys, and we're trying to figure out the monkeys. That must have been maybe when he was in South Africa filming.
So he'd have a gift,
Yes.
but he'd always forget, he'd always pretend to forget that...
Yes, that's right.
He'd
Have I
pretend he'd forgotten the gift.
I've forgotten the presents
And then
for
he'd be
Sally and
looking
Mary.
through the case, and we'd be just going, "Whoa, where's the gift?" And
Yeah,
just
that's
be
right.
ridiculously excited, and then he'd bring out a little present, and all sorts of little things. But
Yeah.
he was fair, because we always had the same thing. There might have been a different colour,
Yeah.
but he knew what we were like.
I didn't know that.
So it had to be the same. Had to be
Yeah,
the same.
yeah.
So there was 2 music boxes. One was one.
And you've still got yours.
I've still got mine.
Gosh, I love
I'm a Spanish lady.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I remember
Koala bear as well.
Yeah,
Did you get a koala bear?
I did not get a koala bear, you see. I don't know how that happened.
I remember on my 7th birthday, Dad was away doing Sea of Sands, actually, and he was away. So I remember the postman coming up the garden path. That was when we lived in Mill Hill. And it's a beautiful African doll, actually, which I still got as my 7th birthday. But he's always giving us presents and stuff, you know.
Look at the biscuit.
Okay.
Wouldn't do for Aldershot, would we? Know what you're thinking?
Well, I thought some of the chaps at Alamein looked pretty wild, but...
But not like a bunch of pirates, huh? Well, that's what we are. According to the rules, nobody should be able to operate here at all, but our war's got to be less and less like the rules. That's why it works out so well.
rules are the result of past experience.
Yes, that's the stuff. You'll make a great staff college, Waller.
Oh, I suppose that does sound a bit priggish, but... Well, I like soldiering. What did you do before they got you at it?
I was an architect. I used to build things. Now I knock them down.
Yes, War makes a mess of everything, all right.
Yes, everything.
Not shy.
Not shy, no.
Always telling jokes,
Yeah.
wonderful sense of humour.
And never cross.
No, never cross.
Never.
No, I never saw him
Really
angry at
calm.
all.
No.
Just
Very
like
laid
to
back.
tell a lot of stories, funny stories. I think he held court
Yeah.
in the pub a lot, didn't he? And
Yeah.
I think
But
I
he always
remember-
had time for you. I think I felt that if you were with him, he was like that with everyone, I think. But you always felt that it wasn't rushed. That he had time for you and he'd listen to you, whatever
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
ridiculous little fear or something I might have had. He'd just pay attention. Yeah, he was kind,
Yeah.
very kind, very
Yeah.
calm.
Can I help you?
I don't know. What's your name?
What's my name? What's yours?
Ebbs. I'm the new captain.
I beg your pardon, sir. Can't be too careful, can we, sir? Always on the watch.
Chief officer aboard?
Now, let me see. I don't think he is, sir.
Second officer.
He's at the dentist.
Third.
Funeral, sir.
Fourth.
Oh, he's on board, sir.
Where's he?
Down the bottom of the number 1 hold, sir.
Let's not wake him, shall we? What are those men doing?
Loading, sir. Oi! You're going the wrong way.
Don't be so silly.
Wrong way. Cold storage. That way.
Why don't you make up your mind?
Can I conduct you to your quarters, sir?
No, I'll manage. I expect you've got work to do.
Yes, sir.
I thought he was rather strange, really. And I said, who is that young man, you know? And they said, oh, he's all right, you know, he'll be very good, you know. And so we were put into a play together called The Old Foolishness, and we just fell in love with each other, you know. Yes. We came to London, and we were just in love with each other, so we got married in Kilburn, in the Catholic church, it's called Holyrood, I think, in Kilburn. Yeah. Well, we hadn't any money, you know, so we had a flat in Ealing, I think, and then Johnny got some money, he was making a film, so we could buy a house. And so I said, oh, we just want a big house, darling, you know. So I saw this advertised in the paper. It said a lovely riverside dwelling. So I said to Johnny, oh, you might go and see it. So he went and he phoned and he said, I bought the house, which is Creek House, and it's a lovely house. It's got gardens sloping down to a creek of the river. It's got a field on the other side where we built a little chapel, actually, of Our Lady of Light. Mm-hmm. And a Catholic family still owns Creek House, and they love the chapel, which is lovely, isn't it? Catholic family. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jenny. Hey, Jenny.
David.
You going to be long?
No, I've nearly finished. What time is it?
It's time you got home. Aren't you expecting swarms of relations?
Just listen.
In the wood, the holly bells the crow.
Come on.
Don't you like carols?
Oh, all right. I want some talk with you before the old cannon.
There's no more to be said. Do you think I'm putting too much frost?
There's a lot more to be said if you ask me.
Wait a minute. It's so lovely. Strange how sound can be so beautifully still.
No, it's beautiful. Come on, let's go, I'll say.
If you will.
Very understanding, very gentle, and very funny. He was always telling funny jokes, actually. Mm. A great human being, yeah.
I always remember Dad as just being full of love and kindness and understanding, as you said, and have a great sense of humour.
Yeah.
And I think he liked to live very much for the day, didn't he?
Yeah.
Make the most of each day, live for the moment. Don't look back. Always look forward. And make the most of your life.
Yeah.
Follow your dreams.
It's a beautiful car, Mr. Doolan's.
It is indeed.
You've been riding it? Serviette. Mr. Doolan seems to take a great interest in you.
He does indeed. He says it's years since he saw the like of me. He's got great notions for me.
Has he now? That means something coming from a man like that, you know.
That's a great chance for me.
You're going to take it.
With both hands.
It's wonderful to meet a man who's determined to reach his goal. Oh, hello, Mother. I just happened to be here when Mr. Rooney came in, and so I asked him in for a cup of tea. Mr. Rooney's been out riding with Mr. Doolan in his Bentley. Mr. Doolan? How lovely.
Well, sure, he only gave me a lift on the way home.
Mr. Doolan has great notions for Mr. Rooney. Does that mean you'll be leaving the corporation?
Oh, no. What Mr. Doolan has in mind for me is something far greater than that. But I can't say anything about it till it's official, you know.
Well, no. Do have another cup of tea, Mr. Rooney. And some biscuits.
He was in the Battle of the River Plate, which was a very good film. So they decided to...
That's the Royal Film premiere that year, Leicester Square, wasn't it? Yeah.
And so the Queen came. And Johnny was in the lineup to meet the Queen, you see. And he was so nervous about meeting the Queen. All day he was just going on and on about, I play the captain of the Exeter, mum. And he was that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that to the Queen. He was absolutely nervous. So the Queen came up to him, and he was so nervous he couldn't hear what she said. It's perfectly true. Of course, you can't ask the Queen to say, I beg your pardon, mum, you can't do that. So he said, I played the captain of the Exeter, mum. And he said she just gave him a very strange look and moved on. So, perfectly true.
Yeah.
We used to have Christmas parties, didn't we, and have a lot of sort of famous people. And I don't think weren't really aware of them. Obviously, you would
just
have been
aware
more,
that he was famous, really.
Yeah, it was just part of our lives, wasn't it?
Part of our lives, yes. My mother sent me down to the little local corner shop to get some bits and pieces. And I was going back to Creek House in Shepperton, and there's a big Rolls Royce pulled up, and it was, opened the car and everything, and it was my dad and Richard Burton wanted to know if I wanted to go Shepperton Studios. I didn't.
Save us some of your hot water. Too dirty. Take this bucket. Oh, Bill will fix you up.
Hey, Bill, give me some hot water, will you?
Now,
Oh, come on now.
I've got none for you.
Why not?
Can't you take no for an answer?
No, not from any man or woman.
That's what I heard. You'll get no hot water from me.
I wish I was 30 years older.
You will be, if you live that long. It's only a question of age.
Here you are. Better than nothing.
What's the matter with that stupid old...
He's got you taped.
There's a bit cracked on that subject.
What subject?
Skirts. His wife left him or something.
How right she was.
Another time, Sean Connery came to the front door.
Wow.
Playing, asked if Dad was home, playing golf.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I'd gone to bed, little girl. And Dad came into my bedroom with Adam Faith, and I was so embarrassed. I just hid under the bedclothes.
Oh.
It was silly of me. I was only about 7 or 8, or maybe 8 or 9, whatever. I mean, it's my big heartthrob. Anyway, I pretended to be asleep. Silly me.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, and then there's Tom Jones used to come to Creek House.
Okay.
Because he lived in Shepperton, and I remember playing Scrabble with him, actually.
What's he like then?
Played Scrabble with him?
Yeah. Played Scrabble with him.
Wow.
Well, me and Dad, and
right.
yeah. Well, I used to go round to his house at Manigate Lane in Shepperton.
Gosh.
Who else?
I bet he's lovely, isn't he?
Well, Alec Guinness was...
Oh, Alec Guinness. Yes, he gave me a
Frank
doll.
Finley.
Frank Finley.
I remember we used to go and swim in his... He had a swimming pool.
Oh, yes, I know.
So we used to go swim in his pool. That was really nice.
Yeah.
When we were little. I remember meeting Michael Crawford. Do you remember that?
Oh.
He was doing Billy Liar.
Oh,
and we
yes,
went
that
backstage.
does ring a bell.
And he was, and we were little. So, he needn't have bothered with us, but he did, and he was really sweet.
Yes, I do
He was
remember.
really
He's
nice
a
to
lovely
us.
man.
Yeah.
Come on, Charlie, here's one for you.
Please be my partner.
Well, do you mean it?
Of course. Doesn't take long once we get started. Come on.
Hey, this is a bit of all right, Miss Ruby.
All that ain't fast.
This is the life.
What?
This is the life, I said.
Charlie, what would your dad have said?
We used to hate it when he went away, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
Just like come back and then Mum used to say, well, Daddy's got to go to the theatre, darling. And I'm like, one time I remember I want to go with him to this place called the theatre, and I think I was only 5.
Yeah.
And I sneaked off and think Mum knew where I was going, and she sort of kept an eye out. And
Yeah.
I'd get in the back of the Jag, and he'd drive off and pretend that he didn't know I was there, and where Mary is.
Oh, you knew you were there, but
but pretended,
Oh,
and
I
I was
see.
like giggling in the
I
back,
see.
and it was when he was doing it was at Savoy's Secretary Bird, I think, and it's just amazing, just such a vivid memory. Because
But
I was
he
just
let
kind
you-
of like
He let you do the
curtain, which is a
curtain.
manual
Really?
thing.
Gosh.
The curtain up and down, and
Yeah.
the old stage hands, and just taken to the pub next door for sandwiches.
Yeah,
and
he really was
It's just amazing.
very kind,
memory.
wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
I used to like being in his dressing rooms, when in the theatre and everything. So I've still got his box, actually, the wooden box with all the makeup in, which is really nice. And when he played Peter Pan, he played Captain Hook, Mr. Darling. That was great.
Yeah.
I remember when Dad was in Peter Pan, he took me backstage to try on the hook. So I remember that's quite fun doing that, Yeah.
Oh, there's a funny story, isn't there, about Dad? He was, was he playing Aladdin?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's in Aladdin, wasn't it, as well?
yeah,
Yeah.
and he was on the stage talking to somebody who came in, and this man had a chain round his neck. So Dad said, he took hold of the chain and he said, "Excuse me, do you flush?" And of course the whole audience just, laughed for about 5 minutes, He's a very funny man, actually. Yeah. He used to go to the local pub and say, well, come back, And we always had lots of people for Sunday lunch. He just loved everyone, And of course people just loved being with him, Yeah.
Alec Guinness was
Yes,
Jim's
great.
godfather, wasn't he?
Yes, it's great. Yes. If someone knocked on our front door, it was in the main road in Shepperton.
Yeah.
And they said, "Does John Gregson?" And of course, Johnny opened the door, and this man said, "Does John Gregson live here?" So Dad said, "Oh, yes, he does. He does, I believe. Would you like to come in?" So the man said, "Oh, yes, and." Who are you then? I said. So Dad said, "I'm the butler."
John! Shove this to my locker, will you?
What's the big rush?
Taking Genevieve to Brighton.
Good luck.
I've named my daughter after actually the car or the film. Yeah. Genevieve.
the Ealing
I like
comedy.
Yeah,
Genevieve.
that's lovely, Genevieve.
But I love
actually.
Sea of Sand as well.
Yeah.
I love that film.
Yeah.
Because he's quite serious in that, and he dies really well. He's just a really heroic. Does die sort of saving his men.
In
He
Sea of
makes this
Sands.
supreme sacrifice, and I love a desert war film.
Yeah.
But I think Genevieve is definitely.
You could watch it again and again, couldn't
Watch
you?
it again and again.
I
I
love
know,
it.
just still laugh, don't you?
Yeah. But Sea of Sand is a great film.
Yeah.
And Whiskey Galore.
Yes.
That one.
Oh, Whiskey Galore.
Just the characters, they're
Yeah.
just so funny.
Yeah, he was really young when he made that one.
Yeah, it was all made in
Yeah,
barrel,
he
wasn't
was,
it?
wasn't he?
Beautiful.
I know.
47, I think. Made it in 47.
So, yes. Gosh, yeah, I was young.
Angels 1-5. I really like that one. It's nice. Yeah, I think he played the part very well too, didn't he?
Very good.
Yes.
Yes, very good film.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose Genevieve. I suppose really. I mean, Dinah Sheridan was lovely, and Kay Kendall was great. It's yeah, and they were. No one thought it was funny actually when they were making it. So they were all miserable, and they thought, oh dear God, what are we going to do? So they sneak previewed it at Camden Town in case it was going to be awful. And of course it was wonderful, So we had a big premiere in Leicester Square, and it was okay.
And he couldn't drive, could he, when he made the film? He hadn't passed his test.
He hadn't passed his test,
no.
no.
But nobody knew.
It was very, very difficult to make, actually, but of course it was just wonderful, and so yeah, that sort of changed his life, really. You know, yeah.
It could have been Angels 1-5 because that's 1952, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then on the back of that, he got the part in Genevieve.
Mm.
And then that catapulted him, didn't it?
Yeah, yes, that's right. Yeah.
Johnny Gregson, yes, he was lovely. He was super, great. Yes, I was so fond of he and his wife.
It's a funny thing when I remember when both of them were little, and so if a dad's film comes on the telly, you see that's your granddad, and it's kind of, I don't know, it can't seem real to them really.
No.
And also, it's not him, you know, it's the character.
Yeah.
It's not granddad at all actually. So it's a funny one, but it's nice for them to have something of him.
Yeah.
We're very lucky that
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
we've got that.
I get messages from friends I work with, and your dad's on the telly. You know, he's always putting his films on, which is great. You know, and people just love those old classic films, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, there's a different quality about them, really.
Yeah.
Oh, John, I suppose it's not exactly your idea of a quiet drink to have that happen, is it?
Oh. Funny thing was, you look so surprised. You look nervous and surprised. I was dumbfounded. I was in a state of shock and still am.
Well, John, this is your life.
Yeah, he phoned up. Yeah, and we had a meeting in the local pub. Well, I was going with Johnny. Eamon Andrews said, I'll be in the local pub, you bring him up. So, of course, I said to Johnny, I think there's someone who just wants to meet you. Do you mind going out to the pub, you know? So he said, oh, okay. So, of course, I put on my best clothes. He said, why are you doing that? I said, oh, well, never mind. It's, you know, I just felt like it, you know. So we walked up to the local pub and opened the door. There was Eamon Andrews with a red book. And Johnny said it was one of the worst moments of his life.
In retrospect, it all falls into place now in a rather sinister pattern. It's behaving very strangely all morning. You know, little funny little things like the dog went in the creek. We got a creek which got a lot of mud in it. I got the dog out of it. I got a big golden retriever. He was all muddy. And I get the hose and I'm hosing him down. She says, what are you doing? What are you doing? I said, I'm cleaning the dog. She said, leave him alone. He's all right. I said, no, I'm just cleaning the dog. She's watching me all morning like this. Very strange.
I don't wanted to get rid of you.
And I said, I'm going down to the pub for a little drink. And she said, well, I put some makeup on then. I said, what for? I'm only going to the local. It's all very weird, you know.
But of course, Eamon was lovely, a lovely man. We had a lovely day, you know. Yeah.
Kept in the dark about that.
Yes.
Couldn't let the
None of us knew. Did
cutouts.
you know, Cathy?
Oh, do you know, I don't know if I knew. I don't remember, I mean...
Probably not.
Maybe not,
Maybe
no.
you knew the day before.
Maybe the day before or something, yes.
I think you
Being
would have
taken
had
up
to
in
know
the car and
before.
stuff, yeah.
But otherwise,
Well,
no one
we were
really
going
knows.
to. We thought we were going to
Going
school.
to school.
We were in the back
And
of
then-
the car going to school.
That's right.
And then Mum told us
She packed a little bag in the
that we
back.
did not have to go to school that day. So that was fantastic.
With such a big family, it must have been difficult keeping the secret from Dad.
Oh, yes, and it was particularly difficult keeping a secret from these two here, Mary and Sally.
No,
So we
Mary
didn't
and
tell
Sally,
them.
you wouldn't have told Dad, would you? No, I know you wouldn't.
Well, it was his birthday, wasn't it? I remember we had a little bit to play to bring the cake on.
Yeah. I was a little bit bewildered.
It was very bewildering.
I think we're all a bit bewildered,
And just,
really.
yeah. But we had to, so someone called us off, and then we had to go round the back of the set, and we had to push the cake on a trolley.
Oh, yeah.
And because...
I don't know what you're going to say.
It's fine. But Mary, I was like, why has Mary got all the trolley? So we were sort of shoving each other like this. We were pushing it on, they were going, push it on, but we were sort of
Yes, I do remember.
did you remember that? We were sort of pushing each other and then we pushed the cake on. Yeah.
Two representatives of The next generation of Gregsons couldn't wait till tomorrow for one important item in your birthday celebration. They slipped away a couple of seconds ago around here. Mary and Sally, you ready? Yes, let's have a surprise then. Yes, they're here. Come on. There we are. You can look behind here. You come out here, John, because they want to see you blow them out. All right. He's got to blow them all out. Yes.
I only hope nobody's counting the candles.
We're not. If you get them out quickly, we won't
Get them
notice.
out quick, right?
Can you do it?
The whole 35.
Go on.
Relatives came down from Liverpool, you know. Mum, Dad's, one brother and sisters, all the aunties and great. And Diana Sheridan was there, of course, which was lovely.
We were being towed
Yes.
by a beautiful, lovely new sports car.
Yeah.
And the scene required us to argue so hard that when the sports car stopped very suddenly,
Yes.
we were to go into the back of it. But,
That's
of course,
right.
being a film, it was to be faked. We disappeared behind a lorry.
It's all coming back to me.
The racing car, the sports car stopped, and
Yeah, do you mind if I change the subject?
No, not for a minute.
Oh, that could-
I'll let you in a
scene, I
let you
can
in a
tell you.
minute. And what happens? The camera allows Genevieve to go behind the lorry. The audience hears this terrible noise, and then you cut to a fake, gashed, terrible, crumpled wing. So we did it. We argued so realistically that John fumbled a bit with the brakes, and we ran straight into the back of that beautiful sports car.
Few people have forgotten that famous scene.
He's been blackmailing me ever since.
Let's have a look at that. We have it somewhere, that famous scene that you just told us about, Diana, where he wrecked a very expensive car because he didn't bother to have a license or learn how to drive.
We had the police holding the crowds back to help as well.
Unfortunately, they didn't keep that year as, you know, as a video. They haven't kept that, which is a shame. Just got the red book.
I think it was funny, wasn't it, how they had to get him to the pub. Well, Mum had to get him to the pub, didn't
Yes,
she?
I think he was washing Tango, the dog,
He
at
was
the
washing
time.
the dog.
But he always goes to the pub on Sunday, I think, wasn't it, Mum? And then...
Yeah, because it would have
he
been
said he wasn't going to
midweek.
go. Yeah, that's right. Well, he's going to cut the grass or wash the dog or something. She said, no, you need to get to the pub.
But Mum had hidden our favourite clothes. I remember that. Like, so my Snoopy T-shirt was missing for ages.
There you go.
Which was my favourite. And my bright yellow corduroy trousers.
A bit short.
Because she'd hidden them
Ah.
to Sally, and Mum had to do a lot of preparation. She did really well, keeping it secret. It's funny the people they get though.
Leslie Phillips.
Oh, Leslie Phillips.
But then, that's Captain Thingy from Captain Bell, says Captain Freddie Bell from the River Plate. Battle of the River Plate.
Oh, look, there we are.
There you go.
Here we are. Someone's brushed
the
our
two
hair.
sisters.
Yes.
We didn't normally have
red
Cathy
Two sisters.
brushed our hair.
Did I brush your hair?
No, we look really
Look grumpy, Sally.
No, because I'm confused.
Confused.
Because yeah.
Yes.
So just off camera, someone's counting down like this, so I'm just sort of...
You do look a bit.
What are you doing? I was just generally bewildered, actually. It must be horrendous, really, mustn't it?
Yeah, to be your whole life.
Yes.
He must have gone home to change. Did he? What's he wearing? Don't know.
Very good jacket, so he must have gone home to change.
No. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the logistics.
I expect he enjoyed having all the family there, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was wonderful to see, you know, not just his colleagues, but all the family members coming as well.
Yeah,
like
that's
Auntie
right.
Chris,
Yes,
and
Auntie Chris, yeah.
Stella and
Stella.
people like that.
Yeah.
And everybody had a good word. Nobody had a bad word to say about it, did they?
We had a wonderful day.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Very special day.
Yeah, Eamon Andrews was lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a very happy day.
Yeah,
Last
it
time.
was. Yeah. We'll never forget it.
No.
Who's this? It's John Cameron.
I'm bringing you a bit of bad news. They're closing the escape hole.
Closing the escape hole?
And they're closing it now behind me.
So that's it.
He's closed the escape hole. They're going to shut the hole up again. We're trapped behind them. And everything's going to clear out there. But they're going to open it up again.
Now, this is for those who haven't heard. I've brought some bad news. We've had to close the escape hole because of gas.
I tell you that's what they've done because...
I've come through to stay with you.
To stay till when?
Till you're all out.
How come we can't close the escape hole?
At present, we can't.
Break it gently, Mr. Cameron. We don't want a riot.
I'm not hiding anything. I'm not breaking anything gently, so you'd better get it off your chests.
We're trapped. We're a trap! They've shut us in!
They've closed the escape hole because the gas is coming back.
If the gas is coming back, the sooner we get out, the better.
Right. If you listen to me, I'll tell you what's going on.
If you can get through to us, we can get out. Sure. Let the man speak. We can deal with him.
Thanks, Rab. What do you want me to say?
You heard him. If you can come in, we can go out.
Aye. I came in with this.
Aye, and soon you'll go out with it, leaving us trapped again.
Would you like to take it, Rab? I'll give it to you. You can clear it out now.
That would only be one man out. There's a lot of us.
What more have they shut us in again? They've trapped us.
Dad took me and my friend Maggie up to the Hammersmith Pally, was it? To see the Beatles, and obviously went backstage to meet them. So we had a chat with Paul and John. Do you remember?
Wow.
Were they
Was
nice?
your dad a fan of theirs?
Oh, very much so, because they all came from Liverpool.
They all,
yes.
and they met a few times.
Oh, very much so. In fact, apparently the story is that John Lennon actually at one time queued up for my dad's autograph. I think he stuck his foot out the door window.
There's a funny story
window.
about the foot. Isn't
Yes.
there?
And Dad signed John Lennon's, the bottom
the
of
sole
his
of
foot.
his foot.
Sole of his foot. Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't know that story.
Yeah. You didn't know that one?
Cousin Anne was telling us.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Because I still go up to
They're all from Liverpool.
Yeah, wonderful lot.
Yeah.
Came from a Catholic family, a lovely mum, and sisters, and from Liverpool. Very down to earth. When he was well known, we were always going up to Liverpool to his roots. He was just a great guy, actually.
It's a great Irish storyteller, you told me, didn't you?
Very Irish, yes. Yeah. He loved going to Ireland, yeah.
Yeah.
John. Who's the big young fella just came in? I've seen him somewhere before.
Oh, that's Rooney, Mr. Doolan. Works on the city corporation. Plays for the Sons of Erin.
I know, that's where I've seen him. A strong, fast player.
I seen him once in the goalmouth with 6 men lying stricken at his feet, and the rest of them wondering whether they should run off the field or hoist the white flag of surrender.
Bring him over to me.
Yes, Mr. Doolan, surely. Mr. Doolan would like a word with you, Rooney.
Doolan?
He's a great hurling fan, and he's on the county selection committee. He'd like you to have a drink with him.
I don't know. I'm not drinking anymore, thanks.
Go on. At least have a word with a man.
A strong, solid man is Doolan, a lawyer. His firm collects all the rents in the neighborhood.
So you're Rooney of the Sons of Erin.
I wouldn't take your hand, sir. I'm just off the bins.
A bit of dirt never harmed anyone. Sure, it's that we're all made of, and it's to that we return. You play next Sunday?
Oh, I am, sir.
I'll be there to watch you.
Well, we're only a bit of a team, Mr. Doolan, you know.
I'll be there.
Excuse me, Mr. Doolan, sir. I see you talking to Rooney there in a friendly kind of way. I wonder would you care to help him? He's looking for an unfurnished room.
Oh, don't be bothering the gentleman, Tim.
No trouble at all. As a matter of fact, I happen to know the very place. Should suit all concerned. Mrs. O'Flynn, 25 Rathmines Terrace.
Rathmines Terrace? Well, that's a bit out of my class. I mean, after all.
You're as good a man as the next, Rooney. Give Mrs. O'Flynn my card and say I sent you.
If you go and fix it now during the break, we'll move you in this very night.
Well, I couldn't go like this.
Come on into the back room and have a bit of a wash. I'll fix you up with some clothes.
Yeah, then when you're finished, we'll pick you up on the corner and everyone will be satisfied, including the corporation.
I think Dad was rather devoted to his mum.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there are lovely letters from Dad to his mum.
So he gets his humour and
And
stories.
he wore her wedding ring on his pinky.
That's right. A lot of the films you see the wedding ring on his finger, which is interesting actually. I always look out for that ring when he does the films,
You sure you're not going to be chilly, sir?
What, me? No, I was hot in my mess jacket. Take your own jacket off if you want to, Mr. Brickwood. Loosen your collar. We can relax company regulations in the middle watch, eh?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Love is the sweetest thing.
Da-dee-da-da-dee.
Sir?
What? Oh, nothing. I was just singing to myself. Join in if you like, Mr. Brickwood. Join in. As love's own story, love is the strangest thing. No song of birds upon the wing shall in our hearts more sweeter sing.
It would have been in the mid-60s, I suppose, yes. A teenager with a group of teenagers, And I got to know Cathy very well through my best friend. And we often went back to Creek House in Shepperton. We'd run aboard a rather lovely house on the river. And we'd go back there and drink tea and have a chat and go out to the local bars. And John Gregson was there a lot when he wasn't acting. And he was just a nice guy. You know? He was there, he'd be in the pub with us sometimes. He was just an ordinary man. And he was just part of the furniture in Shepperton, where of course there are film studios. I believe none of his films were made at Shepperton, but he knew a lot of actors. And in those days, the actors, when they finished filming, would come to what's known as the Square in Shepperton and wind down a bit. And John Gregson would join them. People like Richard Burton, Peter O'Toole. No more name dropping, but they were just part of the furniture. Nowadays, they're whisked up to London and those days have gone. But eventually, cut long story short, I was best man at Cathy's wedding, her first wedding. And there I was, very nervous. How was I? Early 20s, I think. Yeah, early 20s. And I said to John, I'm very, very nervous. He said, well, so am I. I said, you're an actor. It's easy. He said, no, this is my daughter. I'm very nervous. I said, okay, good. That helped me a bit in a way. He sort of stood next to me. And I thought, well, I'll read the telegrams, but there must be more to it. There must be more to it. And I wasn't sure. I said, I need a joke. And someone rushed up and said, tell you what, if it goes wrong, if an apple a day keeps a doctor away, think what a pair can do at night. Right. So I tried it. It just wasn't going well. And luckily, one of the telegrams was absolutely hilarious. People fell down, and I said, "Shall I do the joke?" No, forget the joke. Just calm down. And that was John Gregson putting me at my ease when he was very nervous. He was just a very nice man.
Now, tonight, as you've seen, we have the composer here with us in the studio, and putting him on the mat are two young musicians at the opposite end of the ladder, Carmion Inglewood and Malcolm Murray Bruce, with whose help we are going to try and probe into the core of this argument. Now, tell me, Miss, or may I call you Carmion? Carmion, what were your feelings when you first heard this brilliant composition?
I nearly died.
You mean you liked it? And you, Murray Bruce?
Technically, I consider it to be a tour de force.
Thank you very much.
But morally, I consider it to be completely indefensible.
What was that?
He said he considers my composition to be completely immoral.
Aye, I do. Well, I see, it's one way of looking at it.
It's the only way of looking at it. If you've a healthy mind and a healthy body. Your final movement, sir, concerns two women, does it not?
Aye, it does. I mean, that's right.
The two women in Lancelot's life, Guinevere and Elaine.
Precisely.
One man in love with two women simultaneously. A libertine luxuriating in a twin contemporaneous amour.
I beg your pardon?
I said, your Sir Lancelot, instead of pursuing the Holy Grail, spends 933 bars shamelessly performing an act of erotic bifurcation.
Well, I can't say it struck me that way. I enjoyed it enormously. Grand stuff. What about you, Carmion?
I nearly died.
Then the idea of a man loving two women at the same time didn't bother you either.
Then it ought to bother you. Either it's emotionally impossible or it's the doctrine of the devil.
Why? Why shouldn't a man love two women? Why shouldn't he love a dozen if he wants to? What about Solomon?
What about him?
He had 500 wives.
Concubines.
Well, whatever they were, he had them. If Lancelot loved two girls, good luck to him, I say. And I think your music is just wonderful. And only a stuffy, old-fashioned prig would call it an act of thingamatight.
I've only seen... Actually, I've seen three.
Yeah.
We saw one that Talking Pictures showed.
The Profile.
Which one
Profile.
was that?
Yes.
Which was
It's a
amazing.
wonderful film.
I didn't even know Mum was in that film.
No, I didn't know either. I was just flicking around, Talking Pictures. There was Mum.
Yeah. And
It's lovely.
Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
That's right.
Mum had
I know that, Mum. Yeah.
great close-up of Moby
Lovely.
Dick. And then I did
there's
see
the,
Mum popping up in
there's
another
another
film
one,
years
wasn't there?
ago, playing a nurse.
Do you really like it?
Yeah, it's good. It's very good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Hold on a minute.
Well, it's very difficult seeing people when they're making a film, because I mean, it's good to be take one, you know, but very often you get people who are, well, I'm not kidding you, take 15, you know. It's very difficult making a film. You can't relax. You can't really talk, you know. So it's much better seeing them on the stage, actually. And you can, you know, have a chat in the wings, you know. Yeah, it's difficult making a film.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
All set?
Oh, more work?
No, we've finished. All we've got to do now is...
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Then we go to work again.
Oh, did you speak to Daddy?
No, I spoke to Margot. That's funny, but I don't feel tired anymore. Must be you.
I'm afraid I only got in the way. But I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Good.
I don't know, I just wanted to act. I just loved speaking words, you know, and it was just in my mind to act, you know. Of course, my mum and dad thought it was terrible. You mustn't go on the stage, you know. But I did. I just wanted to, you know. Yeah.
Mum was in Moby Dick with Gregory Peck. Yeah. Do you remember that?
I had one day, yes.
Yeah, had a whale of a time, didn't you?
Sorry?
You had a whale of a time. That's a joke.
Have to say yes to that.
Yeah.
It was wonderful being with wonderful people.
Yeah.
But I just had one day. I didn't have any words.
Do you remember a film called The Weak and the Wicked?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, you were in that, weren't you?
I was, yes, I was, yes.
Yeah.
Who's there?
Just going to bed, Mr. Hammond. Good night, sir.
Clem, has he been told to watch me too? Perhaps the doctors were right. Maybe my mind has been affected. How else could I have smelt so distinctly something that wasn't there? Throat's parched. All peaches should be out. Tree's just here, at the bottom of the steps. I planted it there myself. It's in my hands. Can they be mistaken too?
It was there, I know it. Oh, God.
Don't let me go mad. Please don't let me go mad.
We're lucky, aren't we?
We're very, very lucky.
I know.
Very lucky.
To hear his voice, you know, it's,
yeah.
Well, it's just a real gift to have that. So, yeah, and it's just, yeah, it's lovely having him there. And it's nice for our kids as well to see them. And he was really good.
He was.
Yeah, he was a great family man.
Heartthrob at the time, wasn't he? And,
yeah.
Great family man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep getting, you'll have a website about my dad. I keep getting random emails from people who have seen him on Talking Pictures. And saying what, you know, big fans they are and how much they enjoyed watching his films. So it's great. It's like he's still alive in a way, isn't he? Still kind of with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One other time I bumped into him, I was in London with my boss and just walking out to lunch, and John and Thea came walking towards me. Oh, hello Graham, hello John, chucking away. And I said, see you in the King's Head tonight? Yes. And my boss turned to me and said, "Do you know who that was?" I said, "Yeah, John Gregson." "You know John Gregson?" "Yeah, yes, quite well." I keep forgetting he was famous, because he never came over as famous. He was just a thoroughly nice, charming friend. And thanks for talking pictures. I still watch Gideon's Way and I thoroughly enjoy it.
Oh, Dad,
Why this sudden interest in politics?
I was picking up some pointers. How to sway the masses.
Are you planning to sway the masses?
Yes, I'm running for office.
Where?
We're having a mock election at school. I'm a candidate.
Malcolm, that's fascinating.
I'll say, vote for Gideon. Gideon's the greatest. I made a terrific speech yesterday.
Huh? What's your platform?
I didn't have a platform. I just stood on top of one of the desks.
Well, which party do you represent?
I'm a Gosh,
What's the matter?
I can't remember whether I'm a Labour or a Liberal. Is there much difference?
Don't ask me, ask the Prime Minister.
I think he just said to be yourself, really. To be yourself and be happy, whatever you do, make sure that you're happy.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to follow your dreams, which is something that he did, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, he did, yeah.
Which is which?
This is the boy, and that's the girl. Was it on time?
You bet it was.
Is Myrtle dreadfully upset?
She wants to see you. Do you mind?
I don't mind anything now.
When Johnny died, I was told I had to have something to remember him by, a service, a religious service to remember him by.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't want it, but I had to have it.
Like a memorial service, isn't it?
A memorial
Yeah.
service, yes,
Yeah.
that's right, yes.
Yeah.
And so I had to go to it. It was full of people. I just walked up to the front row and didn't say anything at all. And I just waited for everyone to go, because I didn't want to talk about Johnny at all. And I thought, oh, well, everyone's gone, you know. So I sort of started tiptoeing out. And there at the back was Alec Guinness. And he knew why I'd waited. And he was a great friend of ours, so I went up to him and said, "I can't talk." And he said, "There is no need."
Ladies and gents, the captain.
The captain, the captain.
Oh, he's a jolly good fellow. Oh, he's a jolly good fellow. He's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us. And so say all of us.
It's all a laugh, Tiny, isn't it? It's all a giggle.